like to do the dynamic dish, where I take that are going on in sports and talk about them and put my spin on them. And today we want to talk a bit about the Arkansas Razorbacks versus the Arkansas State Howling Wolves. Is that what they call themselves now? Yeah, I think it's the Howling Wolves or something like that. So here's the thing, and this is what's so funny to me as we go forward. So I threw out last week, why doesn't the Arkansas Razorbacks play the Arkansas State Howling Wolves? And of course, this question has been going on for decades. And I remember years ago, Arkansas State was not even in Division I, as they called it back then. It was 1 and 1AA. And Arkansas State was like in 1AA. And there were many people who felt like Arkansas, the University of Arkansas, did things to keep Arkansas State, quote unquote, subservient to them. So as time has progressed, Arkansas State has moved up. They do play FBS football now. And the question continues to loom. Why doesn't Arkansas play Arkansas State? Now, hear me out here, because Arkansas fans are suffering from delusions of grandeur. They've always suffered from delusions. Because I had an argument on my Facebook page. You can go out and look at the Weekly Sports Magazine, with a good friend of mine who grew up here in Arkansas and swore up and down that Arkansas and Texas were rivals. Well, no, they weren't. Arkansas hates Texas. I mean, it's amazing the animus that the Razorback fans has for UT. I understand that. But you know what? In order to be a rival, that team that you hate needs to hate you just as much as you hate them. And that's just not the case with Texas. It just really isn't. Here's how I found that out. When I went to my little college to play football in Magnolia, Arkansas, Southern Arkansas University, very good friend of mine, Greg Cowie, who played for Stratford in Houston. They were 15-0. And guess who played for that team? Craig James. All right? They were a darn good football team. Now, we were undefeated as well here in Little Rock, but we didn't compare to Friday Night Lights that you've seen now in Texas, as opposed to even Quigley being the biggest stadium in Arkansas at the time. We didn't compare. And then one thing that we talked about, every year that Arkansas was ready to play Texas, Arkansas fans were fired up. The only reason the Texas guys got fired up because Arkansas fans was talking noise. But the Texas guys would always tell us, look, man, we don't see this rivalry the way you all do. Our biggest rival is Texas A&M. It's always been that way. And when you go back and you look at how Arkansas has fared against Texas over the years, and certainly a lot of people go back and refer to that big 1969 game, Arkansas and Texas, where guess what? Arkansas lost. The rivalry has not been, and I think it goes back to 1897. But it's been a one-sided rivalry, to say the least. And it's been more ballyhooed by Razorback fans than Arkansas fans. Now, I say all of that to say this. The fact of the matter is, in order to have a rival, you got to dislike them. It's like brothers. You love your brother, but he's your number one rival. Okay? And you're not playing Arkansas State now. That's your number one rival. Who is it? You don't have a rivalry. You want to say LSU? Well, guess what? That game, I guess CBS didn't see it as a big rival, or the SEC. They basically killed the game. Excuse me. Used to play it the weekend after, the Saturday after Thanksgiving? Not anymore. The Friday after Thanksgiving? Not anymore. So that rivalry is dead. Now, you still play LSU, but it still has Southeastern Conference significance, but it doesn't have ring true of the rival. That boot thing, oh, who cares? Oh, well, maybe Missouri will now be the rival. Well, Missouri's number one rival is Kansas. Even if Kansas doesn't win, Missouri still likes to beat Kansas. It's not your rival. Okay? Here's the other thing that's so stupid about this. In every state, in-school teams play each other. Now let's look at a couple of states that have that have small populations that's comparable to Arkansas. The one that jumps out to mind is Iowa. Iowa State. North Dakota, North Dakota State. Colorado State. All of these schools play one another. And what's so ridiculous about it with Arkansas fans is that they say, oh, well, we have nothing to gain by playing Arkansas State. When you have nothing to lose, you do have something to gain. You begin to build a rivalry that's in-state. And then, of course, you'll go out and play Arkansas State conference opponents. But you won't play Arkansas State. That is so stupid. Come on, Arkansas. I mean, they are so arrogant up there on Fayetteville. That's why they decided to pull that game out of their games out of Little Rock. They don't need Little Rock anymore. We're a big University of Arkansas. And you wonder why a lot of these kids don't want to go and play for the University of Arkansas. I'm just saying. The arrogance is pathetic. And look, I grew up a Razorback fan, but you're suffering from delusions of grandeur when you start looking down your nose at Arkansas State. I'm going to tell you right now, if you all played this year, I think Arkansas State would beat Arkansas. I really do. I think Arkansas State would smoke them. And y'all can get mad all you want, Razorback fans, but this arrogance that you have that you don't want to play Arkansas State because they're beneath you, get over yourself. The Howling Wolves, I think they're the Red Wolves now that I think about it. They would beat Arkansas this year. Look, you need a rival. UCLA, USC, Arizona State, New Mexico State. I could go on and on and on. By the way, Arkansas is the only state in the union where they don't have interstate rivals playing one. That's your rival right there, folks. Forget trying to go out and ask somebody to please be mad at us and play us and make it a rivalry. No, make your own rivalry. It's Arkansas State right up the road. And if you had any real guts about yourself, you wouldn't mind playing it. I'm just saying. That's my dynamic dish for this week. Boy, I bet I made some of you Hog fans mad. Good. Go out to the Weekly Sports Magazine on Facebook and check out some of the other comments. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to the Weekly Sports Magazine on JoyNetRadio.com.